Will Merab's cardio reign continue as EPO pumps through his veins, or is it finally time for Petr Yan to correct his timeline and finally get sweet, sweet revenge at UFC 323? It's time for an in-depth promo and breakdown of the main event. Here we go. This is a rematch years in the making where we saw Merab come in as a heavy underdog and really surprise a lot of people, but really surprise Petr Yan the most, who was quite dismissive of him in that first fight, showed a lot of disrespect. Maybe that's just Yan's confidence, but Merab went in there and showed why he's the machine, okay? This fight is much closer than the odds suggest. Just get excited for it. We are going to witness the bantamweight GOAT versus, an uncrowned champion in Yan, in my opinion, who lost the belt via DQ, sort of his own worst enemy there. And listen up, because this is why I'm picking Yan. In a freak incident where he lost to himself, he has never properly been dethroned, okay? He's had championship title losses, like to Aljamain Sterling, but it was actually Yan himself who destroyed his own timeline. So I will put faith in the man to crawl back to his title. He's done the hard work. He has beat Song Yadong, Davison Figueiredo, Marcus McGee, all by clear, convincing decision. Now it's time for him to take on Merab Dvalishvili, his nemesis, and exact his revenge. It was an all-output performance that Petr Yan just wasn't quite ready for. He had never faced a fighter that spazzy before, and that genetically superior. Petr Yan has always been a guy who's had a slow first round, but that violence has sort of built as the fights went on. But I find it quite the peculiar loss because Petr Yan has incredible takedown defense and spends very little time on bottom. He always scrambles back up to his feet. Even against the cage in the clinch, he's not one to get bullied there. So how did Merab make this look so easy? Just output, honestly. Petr Yan had no answer for just the amount of takedowns thrown at him, just the amount of effort coming from Merab Dvalishvili. His strikes did nothing. Yan was forced on the back foot from the jump, and he had a bit of a freak out, on all honesty. You can really tell Petr Yan prides himself in his defense and likes to set the pace, control the fight, control all the engagements. Everything. That's really hardwired into Yan's style. Hardwired to outclass a motherfucker. And that requires a lot of setup and preparation in the fight. That's why he has such a slow first round. But what Merab did was kind of genius here. He just went full spaz from the opening bell, and that never allowed Petr Yan to really make those early reads. Merab Dvalishvili's goofiness is a serious problem in this matchup just because Petr Yan is a control freak in a weird way. That's probably my one main criticism of Petr Yan, is that he always feels the need to be more skillful, and that can hold him back in moments. Like being an MMA fighter, sometimes you do just have to let the retard out, and Merab Dvalishvili has always been great at that, okay? 14-fight win streak, I believe. Look how far Merab's career has gone by just having no fear and putting all faith and trust into the Go Merab Go game plan. Petr Yan was shook in that first fight, guys. I don't think it can go as bad as that first performance did. Petr Yan has also cited an injury, said he broke his right hand early into the fight. Whether that's true or not, I still think the fight would have played out much the same. Yan did not look to be prepared at all, injury or not. But guys, look, we need to get real with Merab Dvalishvili's title reign. I have been calling it a cardio reign for some time now because it's not the most elite level skill that has taken him this far. It has been quite the opposite. It has been the dog inside of him. It has been the physicality, the grit, the genetics, the drive, the goofiness. Having no fear, that is what has got him this far. It is not skill. And so it's honestly one of the first times where we've seen a champion not excel in any area. Like Merab doesn't have the best submissions, doesn't have the best wrestling, doesn't have the best striking, but just that surplus of energy is the problem. His gas tank is the problem. And I don't believe that can take you all the way. I just don't believe it. If you look through all the great champions of the lighter weight classes, they've all had some X factor to some degree. And so here I am, currently trying to pick holes in the bantamweight GOAT's skill set and his legacy, but I am just such a Petr Yan enjoyer. Just his surgical approach to the game. Like I said, he's hardwired to outclass a motherfucker. I love that fight style. I love the crisp Muay Thai, his sweep game. Just, is it going to be enough to deal with Merab? This is Petr Yan's biggest fight of his career, and Merab Dvalishvili has been just pumping out these title defenses. You have to give him credit for that, but in giving credit and showing respect, there's also another side of the coin. It is him overworking himself. Is he compromised with an illness, an injury? Because you are more likely to have that occur if you're just trying to go all year. Like, that is what a prospect or a contender does, trying to work their way up, trying to gain the rankings, go. Merab has the opportunity to really take a step back and sit down and relax, and he just won't fucking do it. The guy is the Terminator. He doesn't know how to stop, and eventually that could get him burned. Petr Yan is a dangerous fight. Even though he did look so good in the first matchup, came in with a great game plan, was very underrated in that matchup, big underdog. I also believe Petr Yan slept on him. Now it's different. It's very much different now because Petr Yan has a ton of respect for Merab. He's had to grind his way back up because he lost to Merab. He took him lightly and had to go back through the ringer, had to fight Song Yadong, had to fight Davison Figueiredo, Marcus McGee. Very difficult fights. So yes, Yan was the one to destroy his own timeline with the illegal Aljo knee, but it is different now. He has gone back. He has put together his career. He has repatched it. He's had to go back to being a contender again. And so this is like his second title run. We're in for a much different fight. The end of 2025 is going to go out with a bang. This UFC 323 card is pretty loaded with important matchups. Flyweight title legacy, Pantoja risking it all, going for glory against the young gun Joshua Ban. Talbot is on there against Henry Cejudo, the Fartbox King. And Petr Yan's moment to redeem everything. Really redeem everything for Petr Yan. So why Merab is this heavy favorite, I can't trust. Hurt by Henry Cejudo, hurt by Marlon Moraes. Here comes the cope, guys. We're going into keys to victory. Key number 1 for Merab Dvalishvili pays homage to Lucas Tracy. Go, Merab, go. This secret Georgian technique that activates the super soldier gene inside of Merab Dvalishvili. Go, Merab, go, from Matt Serra, Ray Longo. That is the key to victory. Merab needs to listen to his coaches. They have gotten him this far and have really led to a lot of improvements in his game. You know, Merab moved out to Vegas as well to train with John Wood, and they have made massive improvements in his game. So absolutely follow the game plan, listen to his coaches, go Merab, go. Second key, dominate early. It is very important to make sure that Petr Yan doesn't get these early reads, because then he can get really creative with the striking. The more you let Petr Yan think in those early rounds, it just means it's going to get more violent late. He's going to put more creative combinations together. So it's on Merab to be that slopster in the early rounds. I think that is pivotal in this matchup. You got to confuse Yan. He's a thinker in there, folks. He's downloading the data, so dominate the early rounds. Merab shouldn't have a problem with that. I know Merab is sort of the guy to come on late and farm aura quite late into the fight, but I think he should start really early here with Yan. And lastly, rob all space. Merab is best when he smothers an opponent. We've seen him hurt with left hooks off of Marlon Moraes, Henry Cejudo, trying to technically strike. It's got him hurt in the past. He will absolutely pay for it if he thinks he can go tit for tat with Petr Yan without takedowns. That would be really interesting. Just watch Merab come out, not a single takedown, and just like throw away his entire legacy. Like, that just seems like a Merab thing to do. Diving into frozen lakes, throwing the legacy away, trying to strike with Yan, piss on everyone's expectations, and just get slumped by Yan, thinking he can technically strike without bringing out the sloppiness, the goofiness, the slime. So we'll see how it goes, but Merab, his whole game thrives off smothering and pressure and pace, so absolutely needs to be robbing Yan of all his space, like he did in the first fight. How Petr Yan wins and how I think he will win. Now we get into the creamy center of this fight discussion. Key number 1, damage only. What do I mean by this? I mean specific strikes from Petr Yan that will cause long-term damage on Merab. For example, hacking low kicks and body shots. We can't just headhunt Merab. Sean O'Malley tried it. Umar Nurmagomedov tried it with the kicks. It's not the game plan that's going to work on Merab. You need to hunt the body, hunt the liver, the sternum, hack the calf. Oh, look at that calf. It's a bubble, dude. Is Rogan going to be on commentary for this one? We need Rogan on commentary to manifest a calf kick win, calf kick success for Petr Yan. Yeah, damage early. Damage is the key for Yan. Take big risks. Go for knockdowns. For the few moments you're on the feet with Merab, you have to work. You absolutely have to kick it into high gear. Secondly, dumb it down. This one might be hard for Petr Yan. You know, he's a very high fight IQ individual in there who prides himself on defensive dueling and really being a gunslinger out there and controlling his opponent. Merab is too hard to control, so we're going to need to goofy it up, Yan. It might look a little unorthodox, but yeah, just be creative. You know, be unpredictable. We can't be the good old Yan in there. We need to be a better version if you're going to get the jump on Merab, who is bouncy, hard to hit, brick head. Yan's no stranger to special moves. He's got a lot of them. It's just I don't want him to get into this mindset of overthinking in there against Merab, which we've seen so many other opponents do, by the way, where just the presence of Merab Dvalishvili, the cardio goblin, mesmerizes opponents into wanting to headhunt him and only go for knockout blows. Not the key to victory. Be creative. But don't be afraid to dumb it up. Be stupid. Be a Frankie Saenz, a Ricky Simone who can't crack the rankings. That is what it's going to take. You have to meet Merab. It's weird. Merab is elite level and the champion, but you need to bring in like an unranked bum's frame of mind to really have striking success. So Petr Yan, we almost need to devolve his striking IQ to really find the victory here. Interesting. The final key for a Petr Yan victory is slick reversals. He had one or two in the first fight. He punished Merab Dvalishvili for a body kick. Catch that kick, sweep the leg out. We need more of that. We need Petr Yan to be slick in this fight and actually go for proper reversals, which puts Merab on his back, Merab up against the cage. The sweeps will be perfect. Preferably in the first round as well, before he's death-gassed from Merab's EPO blood. Where if, you know, Merab is too much to handle on the feet with the pressure and the pace, the perfect way is to wrestle back into him. Merab isn't the guy with killer jits. He's no Oliveira on the mat, so if you need to give up a takedown or two, you can give up a takedown. Look for a reversal in the scramble instead of dead-legging a million times, gassing yourself out. I want some opponents of his to actually have some faith in their wrestling, in their scramble. Petr Yan rarely accepts bottom position, so I'm predicting a few nasty scrambles in here that will turn the tides from Petr Yan. That is keys to victory, folks. The elite of the elite. Go at it. UFC 323, December 6th, in a massive end-of-the-year pay-per-view card. Hope you enjoyed the cope. Stay tuned, predictions are coming up, and as always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all real soon.